All right, I'll see you ninjas there. Make sure you guys are out there. August 13th, we're going to be out there. Going to be showing support to the bros. But we are live, guys. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. So yeah, we will be out there. We will be supporting the homies. I got some in here. Some dude said crying homos. Yeah, enjoy the shadow realm. Right here.
Time to send you to the shadow realm. The future is mine.
Another dude that said, Myron, no. How about you get the fuck out of here too?
Time to send you
out here.
to the shadow realm. The future is mine.
Send niggas to the shadow realm immediately.
Double kill.
Got to take out the trash every now and then. It's been a few days, hasn't it? So I got to clean out the. A lot of you are new here. I don't have tolerance for stupid. And yeah, I just send these to the shadow realm immediately. Aso, thank you so much for the 5 gift. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? You know, we believe in freedom of speech, but we don't believe in freedom of, and a lot of you guys are that come in here. I've explained this a million times already. I stand by my friends when times are tough, okay? If you guys notice, right? I really only come in when the Tates are at their lowest. If you guys notice that, I don't really mention them unless like they're going through some, okay? Everyone else comes in and says what the fuck they got to say when things are good. Yo, let's get a collab. Let's do an interview. Yeah, let's talk about the Tate, yeah, because everything is on up and up. But if they ever get some, you know what I mean? Their real friends come through. So yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be like a fair weather ally where I only do or I only support my buddies when it benefits me. Like what the. So yeah, this other get out of here too. Mary, whatever the your name is, get the out chat.
Time to send you to the shadow realm. The future is mine. Triple kill.
Victor says, that was Japan for a month, didn't see any fat person, W Tates. Yeah, I didn't see any fat people when I was in Romania too. Bro, this obesity thing is a Western thing, bro. It's an American and England thing, dude. You go anywhere else in the world and like people aren't fat like that, dude. It's a very American thing to see all the fat people. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. It's just a lot of lazy. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, so yeah, dude, I think about my buddies. They're going through some right now. Obviously, anybody could be our fair weather friend, which, you know, there's a bunch of influencers I could call out that only got something to say when they're up on the up and up and didn't say a goddamn thing after they got arrested. A lot of them, I'm sure you guys know who they are. You know, some other dumbass dude said, Justin Conscious says, Myron loyal to a fault. F you, bro. How about that one? Dude said loyal to a fault. You don't understand that being loyal is the fault. Because you're being loyal even when it's not comfortable to do so. Yo, it's crazy. How many of you guys are like some ass, bro? It's incredible to me. And then you guys wonder why you're fat. You wonder why no one respects you. You wonder why you can't hold a job. You wonder why no one wants to be around you. You wonder why you have no real friends that have never stood the test of time with you. You wonder why your mom don't respect you. Your father looks at you like you're a right? Like, I need you guys to like look around your life. All these haters that are saying this stupid, I need you to look around your life. Do people respect you? Do people want to be around you? Do people want you in their corner when they're in their darkest time? The answer is probably no. The answer is probably no. And you need to ask yourself, like, damn, am I reliable? Am I a good friend? Am I there when they need me, or am I there only when they don't need me, when I can benefit? And you guys wonder why, like, women don't want to be around you, you're a loser, all this other, man, like, you're pathetic, bro. It's really strange. It's actually incredible. And then you guys wonder why your life sucks. Half of you are in the chat, my life sucks. I would have put a gun in my mouth. I don't know what to do. A lot of it is your own fault because you can't rely on yourself, so how the fuck are other people going to be able to rely on you? How the fuck is a woman going to be able to rely on you? You know what I mean? A lot of you in the chat right now still depend on your mommy to give you money. What the Like, what the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here, man? You know? Some other dude says, Myron, ignorance. Get the fuck out the chat, bro. His name is Asa299. Get the fuck out of my chat, you ass. Nobody gives a fuck.
Time to what you gotta say? To the shadow realm. The future is mine.
The fuck out of here, bro. Dude said the Tate average man, biggest gynocentric out there, puts women on pedestals by putting ridiculous standards for men who will inevitably fall in building an empire. See, bro, this is brokery rhetoric that will keep you poor. Literally. That is broken rhetoric that will keep you poor. It's like, oh no, I can't do better, bro. Yo, shame on the Tates for telling me to do better, bro. This is f***ed up, man. And then you guys wonder why you're losers. And then this other ass comes in here. Get the f*** out of here too.
Time to send you to the Shadow Realm. The future is mine.
How many we got rid of already? 5?
Killing frenzy.
Holy. Yeah, bro. That's probably the most blackmailing thing for me, is realizing how many of you guys are ass that don't stand by your friends. That's one of the things that's really, really annoying to me on the internet. It's like, oh, hold your friend accountable on the internet for my entertainment. No. How about no? Because what does that do? We're all human beings here. We know what happens when you do that. If you try to call your friend out on the internet, what's up happening is they feel like you're attacking them, so they respond via the internet, and then nothing ever gets solved. See, this I could tell a lot of you don't have a real job. Let me give you guys some life advice. If you're working with somebody, or you have a colleague, or you have a relative or whatever, and they do something that pisses you off, the worst thing that you could do is call them out publicly in front of other people you like. This is just a life skill. It's amazing how to explain this, but let me go ahead and educate some of you in here. Okay? All right? Calling people out publicly is not an intelligent move if you actually give a shit about that person. If you don't give a shit about them, that's different. That's different. But if like you actually want to preserve friendships and preserve like respect or whatever, or you actually really want to help them, you call them out privately and tell them, yo, don't do this. Yo, this is fucked up. Yo, I don't like when you do this. Because when you do it privately, they're going to listen to what you got to say. They're going to be far more open to taking that advice because they don't have the peer pressure of other people calling them a bitch or insulting them or whatever. This is something I learned when I was an agent. When I was an agent, right? I'll never forget. You have to give a briefing every time before you hit a house. So let me give you guys some real life advice because a lot of you are stupid. It's actually incredible how some of you are in the chat. Don't forget, guys, that like I didn't start my career as a streamer sitting in front of a camera talking to a bunch of like y'all. Okay? I was around the cream of the crop at the U.S. government talking to very high IQ individuals. We're planning out cases. I'm talking to lawyers every day, etc. So let me educate some of you in here that are stupid because some of you guys need to hear this. When I was an agent, you would have to do a briefing every time you're going to do an arrest warrant, search warrant, any type of enforcement operation, okay, where there's a chance where you might be, putting hands on somebody, doing a search warrant, arresting somebody, whatever it is. Any type of enforcement operation, you have to do a briefing beforehand, okay? You get up in front of the group of people. It's like typically like we had a briefing room, like 50, 60 chairs in there, right? You get up there depending on how big your operation is. And you provide, if there's an informant involved, if there's an undercover involved, you go through the entire operation. You go over the radio channels you're going to use. You're going to go over marked units that are going to be there. If you're going to have a state police there, local police there, sheriff's deputy. You're going to go over positions. You're going to go over, who's going to be on the perimeter, who's going to do entry, who's going to do, who's going to be on the search team, all this, right? And what I used to do was I used to put people in certain positions. Now, this is what I did. I purposely put people in positions that I knew that they would excel at without embarrassing them, okay? So if I knew someone wasn't in the best shape or whatever, I'll put them on the perimeter without, like, insulting them. And then I'd also give them, like, another job that they were good at. So there was a female agent in my group. Not good tactically or whatever, but she was a former IRS agent. Fantastic with numbers. Very smart, right? So I had her on the perimeter, but I brought her in my case and she helped me out with all my numbers, right? So I wouldn't ridicule her and make her look like, at the briefing, I'd put her on the perimeter, but she had a role on the actual investigation where she would help me with doing the financials, okay? Because I was looking at this guy who's doing quite a bit of money laundering. So you have to be able to, do things in a certain manner where you preserve people's dignity, dude. Okay? And if you do have a problem, you pull them to the side. Hey, I don't like this. Hey, I don't like this. Hey, could we do this? Could we do that? I always did that. I never call out people publicly. Now, I had to learn this the hard way because when you work in law enforcement, everyone's A-type personality. All right? So when you have a bunch of A-type personalities, everyone clashes heads. So you have to learn how to navigate this because it's a bunch of tripwires all over the place. Okay? And this is where I had to learn this idea, like this skill set of being able to talk to people that are hard-headed, that have egos. And pulling them aside and speaking to them privately one-on-one, which your grievances always worked. And then also if you were going to do something like where you put them in like kind of like a role that might not look as cool or whatever, I would say, hey, such and such is going to be on perimeter because such and such is involved in the financial portion of the investigation and needs to kind of oversee what's going on. Does that see how I kind of save face there? So you have to do like that and play the game. Okay? Calling people out publicly out of their name, right? Or on them to try to like make yourself look good while bringing them down, that's always going to come back and bite you in the ass. And people remember that. People remember that. This is how you get passed up on promotions. This is how people don't want to help you. I can't tell you how many times I'd have a late night surveillance. I'd put out a text, hey guys, I'm going to go do X, Y, Z, whatever. People would come out and help me even though they didn't want to do it because I always came out and helped them. Or if I did have a grievance or something like that, I always talked to them privately. People always wanted to come out and help me because I would never sell them out. I wouldn't on them. I wouldn't embarrass them. If they did something, I'd be like, it's fine. We'll fix it. I write their search warrants for them. I wrote everybody's search warrants for them. I was like the best writer in the office. I'd write everyone's criminal complaints. I'd write everyone's search warrants. I wouldn't blast them for it. I'd be like, you know what? Let me just do it. I'll do it for you. Just get me on the next one. This is how you develop relationships. This is how people respect you. This is how people want to do things for you. This is why people want to help you. Why do you, bro, and don't understand how to navigate the world and help people and then like understand that at some point it's going to pay it back. You should help people, right? Because it's the right thing to do, right? And then at some point, I promise you it's going to come back. I promise you it's going to come back. I mean, look at the chat right now. We got a bunch of people here watching, right? I know Kick just did this whole thing with looking at active chatters. Bro, we got 800 people in here, but like 20, 30% of the chat is like active. Why is that? Why is that? Because I'm honest with you guys. I'm authentic. I'm not these other chats frauding, botting, all this other. I'm authentic, right? Which is rare to find in today's day and age with the way streaming is. So look, you guys got two choices. You can go ahead and behave like these influencers and just call people out all the time and not cover for people, not support people, like, you know, do whatever you're going to do. It's so strange that, like, how it's like, yeah, I'm just going to call people out because it's like, I'm going to get clout off it or like I look cool doing that. It's really mind-boggling how I look at people saying stupid shit like you're loyal to a fault. What is that concept? What is that? What is that? That's why you don't have any real friends. That's why nobody invites you anywhere. That's why nobody trusts you, bro. What the Incredible. And this is something that I've noticed only with like you young guys born in the late 90s and 2000s. There's some ass, bro. That's why you guys are all fat and have titties. And they got this other idiot in here. Shizzy, get the fuck out of my chat.
Time to send you to the shadow realm. The future.
Get out of here, bro. Nobody gives a fuck what you think. And I guarantee you got a pictures mounted on your stomach, bro. Fat, got titties out of shape, lazy as fuck. So anyway, look, you don't have to take my advice, bro. Honestly, guys, you can take this advice, apply it to life, and dominate your field, or you could be a loser, backbite, don't be loyal, be a snake, be a weirdo, never be trusted, and then never move up. However you want to play it. However you want to play it. But ask anybody that worked with me when I was an agent. They'll tell you good things. Oh, yeah, he was always available. He was a hard worker. He went hard in the paint. You know? And this is something I just learned because here's the thing. When you work in law enforcement, right, you can't afford to not trust the people around you. You're going into a house a lot of the times with a dangerous criminal in there. You need to know the people behind you, God forbid something happens, are going to be prepared to save your life. We're all human. If it's someone you don't like, are you going to go? Of course, you're going to try to help them. Of course, they're your colleague. But when it's someone they love, they admire, someone that they respect, they're going to go that much harder to ensure that you are good. This is life skills I'm teaching you guys, bro. You need to stop watching these dumbass streamers that have never done anything with their life, that manufacture drama for views, and understand how the real world works. That will never get you anywhere, being a backbiting snake, turning on to help you out, being a weirdo, selling people out. That will never get you anywhere, bro. I promise you. in the real world. You want to be on some weirdo internet? Fine, whatever. Do what you want to do. Even that's going to come back and bite you in the ass too. But in the real world, you want to have a real job, you want to have a real career, you want to have like actual colleagues that love and respect you and want to do anything for you, right? You have to be trustworthy. You have to be loyal. You have to stand by your people, right? You have to be willing to take the shit. I'll never forget this, bro. Here's another example of a case I did. My birthday, 2016. Let me see if I can pull up the case for you guys. So I show you. I got receipts. Hold on, man. All right, so I'll tell you guys a story, then I'll find the case after. So here's what happened. It's February 1st, 2016. I'll never forget. Well, it happened on January 31st, 2016, but obviously it went into the evening. I get a call, right? I get a call that there was a rollover, right? That there was a rollover. Some dude was trying to smuggle illegal aliens. They got into a police chase with Border Patrol, and Border Patrol chased them. And while the guy was running away for Border Patrol in the Webb County Sheriff's Office, because this was in Laredo, Texas, the car rolled over and like a guy died. Right, so we went from, a felony of human smuggling, 8 U.S.C. 324, to like human smuggling now with like a homicide, right? Now, at the time, there was a brand new agent, right? I'm not going to say her name. She doesn't like me too much. But she got mad at me after. Well, years later, she saw my content, got pissed off. Whatever, who gives a At the time, she loved me, though, but she doesn't like my YouTube. But either way, she was a brand new agent. She had come from another agency, didn't know anything about HSI. She came from DSS, Diplomatic Security Service, right? They don't do, yeah, she's a liberal, a lesbian, dude. Yeah, I'll just say that. Anyway, but I saved her ass here, and I shut her up because I sent her this. I sent her the criminal complaint and said, "Do you remember this? Shut the up and never talk to me again." She actually shut up. She didn't know what to do because I found a case, and I said, "Remember when I took this case for you?" And I'm going to tell you guys a story right now. See, this is the importance. This is the importance of being a good. Let me explain it. Let me tell you the story. January 31st, 2016. I'm in my house chilling. I get a call. Hey, there was a chase, high-speed chase, Border Patrol, Webb County Sheriff's Office chased this guy. He was rolling on, I think it was like on 83 or something like that, one of these Texas highways. And the guy fucking sped off, made a wrong turn, rolled over, killed the guy. Right? It was, I think like 2 juveniles, 1 adult. Right? Now, this is a nightmare case to get, guys. This is a nightmare case to get. Now, this girl was on the duty agent. Okay, she was the one that was on call, right? So obviously I saw, oh my God, it's a rollover. We got juveniles. We got somebody that died, right? So not only did we have to roll out there, Customs Border Protection, right? Customs and Border Protection, their Office of Internal Affairs was out there too, because it was a use of force situation, and someone died. So I'm out there. So HSI is out there. Customs and Border Protection, Office of Professional Responsibility, their OPR, their Internal Affairs is out there. Webb County Sheriff's Office is out there. Border Patrol is out there. Texas Rangers are coming out because it's a homicide, right? So it's a nightmare, right? This girl's like a brand new agent. She just switched over from DSS. For those of you guys that don't know what DSS is Diplomatic Security Service. Think of them as the International Secret Service. They do protection details. That's what they do. They don't do criminal investigations ever. The most they'll do is passport or visa fraud at most. And to be honest with y'all, we end up taking a lot of those cases. So you have a brand new agent that doesn't do investigations, that lateraled over from another agency. Yes, she was a criminal investigator, but that agency doesn't do criminal investigations. They just don't. Just like Secret Service. They don't do criminal investigations either. So she's completely out of her realm, and this is like her first call, right? So what do? I say, you know what, I'll roll out there. I go out there. I get there first. I assess the scene. Thankfully, the guy that was from OPR, good friend of mine, which one day I'll have him on the show for you guys. He's the one that helped me with the Cologne Border Patrol unit case that I did back in 2015. Anyway, and that's why we were good friends. So he rolls out there. I meet up with him. We figure out what the going on. etc. We're talking to the deputies. They got the bad guys and that did the rollover in the car. I see the body, right? Completely up. The guy got ejected out of the car. He was an illegal alien they were trying to smuggle. Guy ejected out the car. Horrible. You know what I mean? Nobody deserves to die like that. Nobody deserves to die like that, right? It was horrible. And if you've never seen a dead body, that shit red pills you. But anyway, so I'm there. I'm talking with my guy. I'm talking with the Border Patrol agents that did the chase. I'm talking with the Webb County Sheriff's deputies that assisted in the chase. They got the kid. It's I think, like I said, 2 juveniles, 1 adult, or 2 adults, 1 juvenile. I forget the number. But here's the problem: in the Southern District of Texas, they don't like to charge minors, right? They don't like to do federal felonies on minors. So, but obviously we had a homicide, right? So this was another. So not only do you have a homicide, multiple agencies involved, and a complex human smuggling case, I got a new agent that's there that's going to be running this thing, and we got to call the U.S. Attorney's Office and figure out what the we got. And I got internal affairs there from CBP. So it's a nightmare crime scene, right? We take lead, okay? We take lead. They transport the prisoners to the Border Patrol station. Never forget the Border Patrol, Laredo North. Laredo North is where they took them, which in Laredo, there's different Border Patrol stations. There's Laredo South, Laredo North, Zapata, Checkpoint 29, which is part of Laredo North. All my Laredo people know what I'm talking about right now. Okay, you guys are really getting a good story time. So I'm there, we're doing interviews, etc. I'll never forget this, bro. I rolled out there at like 10 p.m. I didn't get home until like the next night. I was at the station the whole time because we were doing interviews. And then since we had minors, we had to call so I'm on the phone to AUSA the whole time. Hey, we got a dead body, blah, blah, blah. We have minors here, but we got to, what are we going to do here, blah, blah. So the decision basically comes that we're not going to interview the minors without the parents there. So we bring the parents in. That takes time, right? So we got to wait for the parents to show up. In the meantime, we're talking to the witnesses. We're talking to Border Patrol agents that were there. Hey, Chief Taro, thank you very much for the 25. He definitely knows what I'm talking about. He definitely knows what I'm talking about. I said checkpoint 29. He knew exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, we did. This case was out of Laredo North, bro. Right? You can pull up the G166 if you want. Anyway, so real ones know what a G166 is. So anyway, we're there, right? Doing interviews, etc. Right? And we're going in detail, guys, because here's the thing you guys got to understand on human smuggling. I'm going to talk about this as well when I do the Osmongold thing, because I'm going to talk about the Osmongold thing. But when it comes to human smuggling, I'm going to give you guys a lecture on how human smuggling works as well. But without going too much into that, it's a very extensive interview. Every illegal alien that gets smuggled in, I have to do a full interview with them about how much they paid, how they came in, all this. So, and I think there was a couple of aliens that were in the car with them. I think there was like 7 or 8 of them, right? So you got to do a full interview with each of them. You talk to the one driver, and then you got to talk to the minors as well. So I'm doing all these interviews, right? Obviously, this ends up becoming a very complex case, right? The girl that I'm with, I could tell she's overwhelmed. She's like, what the fuck? You guys got to understand, bro. Most federal agents, this is a big red pill for you guys. Most federal agents will go 5 to 10 years and never do a criminal case. I'm going to say that again for you guys so you guys understand what the fuck I'm talking about here, okay? These pundits that are on CNN, that are on Fox News, etc., a lot of these have never done a case as the actual case agent. It's one thing to be involved in an investigation. It's nothing to do it as a case agent. Big difference, okay? And they use the ambiguity to trick you, to make it look like they're experienced when they're not. I'm going to say that again. Most federal agents, 1811, special agents doing criminal investigations, not a 0083 or 1801, not these. I'm talking about special agent 1811, okay? And then there's some exceptions like postal inspectors and DSS, but they're still special agents even though it's a different job series. Whole other situation, but you guys get the point. Most of them might do one criminal case every 5 to 10 years, dude, if that. So I can already see that she's losing her mind. We've done already 7, 8 interviews with witnesses. We're going to have to hold. And then here's the other tricky part. You got illegal aliens? Guess what you got to do? When you have illegal aliens, you have to keep them as what's called material witnesses. They're illegal aliens. Since they're illegal aliens, they have no status in the United States. So guess what you got to do? You got to file an affidavit for material witness. So you're writing up 3 different affidavits. You're writing a criminal complaint, right, for all the violators, and then you're writing up material witness affidavits for each of the witnesses that you're going to keep because you need them as witnesses in the criminal case. So she's already like, oh my God, what the She's losing her mind. She went from protecting in Egypt, doing security details, to doing a investigation where you're actually like on the hook for shit. Right? So this is what I told her. I said, look, don't worry, I'm going to take the case. Really? I'll take it. Don't worry about it. I'll take it. You could be the co-case agent, I'll be the primary case agent. Dude, I could see she was stressed out. Brand new agent, you got a homicide, you got a dead body, you got Texas Rangers going to get involved, you got CBP Internal Affairs going to get involved, Webb County Sheriff's Office is there, and all this other. You got to compile all these different agency reports. You got to get a grand jury packet ready for an AUSA. You got to write a criminal complaint. You got to stay up all night. You got to bring these prisoners to the jail. It's a lot of work to do within 24 hours. So I told her, look, I'll take the case. You just shadow me. You're new. You'll learn everything. I'll be on the hook for everything. I'll be the affiant. I'll write the warrants, etc. You just follow me on everything, and I'll show you how it goes. Right? It's like, okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. No problem. I took the case, etc. I handled it. It is what it is. She learned the whole way, and she was able to learn without having to have her neck on the line. She went with me when I went to the judge. She went with me when I went to court. She went with me when I went to do the follow-up interviews. She went with me when I went to the U.S. Attorney's Office, right? Because since there were minors involved, I had to get the USA to override. You guys know what the USA is? The United States Attorney out of the Southern District of Texas? That's a presidentially appointed position. Okay? So a presidentially appointed official had to sign off on my case because we had minors involved. No, she was a lesbian. I didn't do anything with her. She chill. She was a full-on lesbian. Saying some pervy here. So anyway, so after I did that, right? After I took that case, and it was my birthday too, by the way. It was my birthday, and I still went out there and I took the case, even though I wasn't supposed to, and I wasn't on duty. That's what made it crazy. Nightmare scenario. 26th birthday, cooked. Right? Most 26-year-olds are trying to find a way to get into a club, right? To get a table. Meanwhile, I'm dealing with a dead body in the middle of nowhere in southern Texas. But it's fine. It is what it is. I volunteered. I said I'm going to go out. I said I'm going to go help. I'm glad I went in and helped. And then I ended up taking that case, and it ended up being a great case. So, fast forward. I forget how I got back into contact where what happened. But she said some stuff about me being a misogynist or whatever. You know what I did? I sent her that criminal complaint. I said, hey, remember this? When I saved you when you were FTO? Shut the up. And she didn't have to say. She had to say. Because she knows I saved her ass. And that's the importance of doing right by people. You can shut them the up at any time. And a lot of people say, yo, Myron, would they reciprocate? Would they do the same for you? That's not what it is. If you're doing things on the hope of reciprocation, you already lost. Okay? You should be doing the right thing because it's the right thing. That's you. That you should be doing that whether people are watching or not. Here's the other thing too. It's like, you got to take this, like, is anybody watching when you go to the gym and train? Is anybody watching when you're eating properly? Is anybody watching when you're trying to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep and drinking water and all this other? No. You have to learn to do the right thing whether someone's watching or not. You don't want to be one of these that only works out for the cameras, bro. Like, that's weird. As a matter of fact, I detest working out on camera because I think it's weird and it's annoying. And it doesn't help me focus. If someone records me, that's one thing. But I don't like working out on camera because it takes away from the focus. Meanwhile, a lot of people can't work out unless there's a camera. They got it backwards. So look, what's the bottom line here? Besides, because this all started with, we're going to be out there on August 13th, right? Supporting our boys, the Tate bros. Be good to your friends, bro. Be good to your friends. Be good to your colleagues, right? Don't betray them. Don't be a snake. Okay? Don't do that. Just don't do that. If your friend pisses you off, Don't call them out in front of everybody. Go have a conversation with them one-on-one. They annoy you, they piss you off, they do something. Talk to them one-on-one. Hell, even that dumb chick sent me that dumb. I'm not going to help you put you on blast. All I did was I sent to the criminal complaint, said, hey, you remember this? Remember when I saved you from a headache? She didn't have nothing to say, bro. She didn't have nothing to say. I already did the walking, so there's no talking anymore. You get that? I did the walking, so there's no talking anymore. That's how you guys got to be, bro. That's how you guys got to be. This is a very alarming thing I've noticed with like this generation of young men, where you guys are totally okay with throwing your friends under the bus. Strange, very, very strange. And I'm telling you guys, that's not going to serve you well in the professional world. Do not behave like streamers, bro. Like in the professional world, that will get you cooked. Okay? And then here's another thing too. Guess what happened when I didn't tell you guys this part. When I took that homicide case, that rollover case, right? Which is always a nightmare, taking these kinds of cases. Because you have to do all this extra work because there's a dead body involved now. When I took that case, on my birthday, when I wasn't the duty agent, because the new agent was a duty agent, by the way. She was the one that was on call. I was supposed to take it. When I took it, right? And I said, you know what? I'll deal with it. You just could go ahead and shadow me and you don't got to worry about any of the, liability, responsibility. That got around the office. Instant respect. This guy took a rollover case on his birthday when he wasn't a duty agent. What the? Because let me explain to you guys how the border works. When you're an HSI agent on the border, you're on call like every third day. Because you guys got to understand that the volume on the southwest border is insane. Okay? I'll never forget my first day on call. I picked up 3 separate criminal investigations, bro. 3. I got like 5 calls. I ended up taking like 3 of the cases. Remember, I told y'all most federal agents don't even do a criminal case. They might do 1 every 5 to 10 years. I did 3 on my first day on call.
Bumblecard.
Just to give you guys perspective, your average FBI agent might not testify at a grand jury until they've been on the job for 3 to 5 years. Within 2 weeks of me being in Laredo, getting on call, my first duty day, I got picked up 3 criminal cases. One guy smuggled in 6 illegal aliens. Another guy had a tractor trailer full of like 19 aliens. And then another guy got in a fight with the checkpoint guys, the Border Patrol checkpoint guys, saying, I'm not answering questions. Impeding in the 18 U.S.C. 101, as you guys know, impeding official duties. Took 3 dumbasses to jail, had to write up 3 different affidavits, didn't sleep the entire night. That's my first day on call. Now, that happens all the time. So every third day, you're on duty. Okay? When you're on duty, what that means is basically if Border Patrol or Customs or any of these guys catches something, whether it's drugs, illegal aliens, or guns or some other, they're going to call HSI. HSI is the main investigative agency that deals with all that for DHS. Now, I was in a human smuggling group at the time. Human smuggling in Laredo it's a monstrosity. Every day, they're catching people smuggling illegal aliens in. It got so bad where we would only take cases of 6 or more. I don't know what they do now there. They might take less, whatever, I think with Trump in office. But that's how busy it was, dude. And then keep in mind, so I was on duty all the time, right? So my group would be on duty because we had a couple of different human smuggling groups. We had like 3 different human smuggling groups. So your group would be on duty every third day. So if someone in your group got a call, a lot of times the whole group would roll out because they catch 20 illegal aliens with a truck driver. Well, guess what? You got to interview all 20 of those illegal aliens. You got to interview all 20 of them. You got to figure out how much they paid, where they came from, which smuggling organization they used, all that. You got to talk to all 20 of them. So the whole group is going out. All 7, 8, 9, 10 of you guys are all going out there. Right? And then whoever's on duty will be the case agent. So on that day, she was supposed to be the case agent, but I said, I'm going to take it. I'll take it. Don't worry about it. This is difficult for you. You come from DSS. I get it. I'll take it. So that got around the office. Got enormous amount of respect. And then on top of that, guys, I didn't just do duty cases, right? A lot of agents would do what we call bag and tag cases, where they just respond to the port, they respond to Border Patrol, and that's it. They arrest the principal, take it to whatever, take it through the, legal proceedings, not expand it, not do proactive cases. They just do bag and tags all day. I refuse to do that. I also did proactive cases, right? I also did a lot of proactive cases. How do you guys think I'm able to tell you guys about Title IIIs and all this other that you don't do Title IIIs and search warrants and all this other from bag and tag cases. You do those from doing proactive cases. That's where a lot of my knowledge came from. But doing a bag and tags is a fantastic way to learn how the judicial process works, learn how to deal with AUSAs, learn how to deal with, writing criminal complaints. So yeah, my first day on duty, dude, I wrote 3 criminal complaints that day. 3. And again, your average federal agent, you take your average FBI agent, they might not write a criminal complaint until 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, dude. That's the difference. Drinking water through a fire hose being on the southwest border. That's how I have so much knowledge on this. Right? So anyway, but yeah, word got around the office that I was a hard worker. So what ended up happening was they took me off the duty list because I had a really big organized crime case. So they knew, damn, this guy's a go-getter. We're going to take him off the duty list. But guess what? When they took me off the duty list, I still went out to all the calls. Hey, we got a 1 on 6. Hey, we got a 1 on 10. Blah, blah, blah. It's over here. Zapata. Oh, Hebronville or some shit. Hour away from Laredo. Far as Cotula. All right. I'll be out there. So I would always show up. Always show up. And then if it was too hard for them, like if it was because I had a lot of new guys in the office too, right? If it was like a difficult case, complex case, I'm like, bro, I'll take it. Don't worry about it. I'll take it. Really? You'll do that? Yeah, I'll take it. Just go to court for me tomorrow. I'll write up the criminal complaint. I'll do everything. I'll be the case agent. I'll open up a file. Just go to court for me tomorrow. I'll take the body to court. Cool. All right, I'll be up all night. I'll deal with this. Oh, thank you. And now I'd run the case from there. I'd go to the grand jury. I'd take it all the way to the guilty plea, etc. I'd be the one testifying, all that. But that's the reputation I got in the office. So they took me off the duty list, right? They took me off the duty list to take a little bit of the pressure off from me, but I still didn't I still came out and helped, right? So yeah, I wasn't getting the 4 o'clock calls in the morning all the time, but I was still going out and helping even though I didn't have to. Even though I had all the federal agents going to know what I'm talking about. I had an OCDF case, right? Which is a big deal. Stands for Organized Crime Drug Enforcement Task Force. They don't have them anymore. Now it's called the HSTF. They changed it. But I had a very big OCDF case back in the day. On a crystal meth smuggling organization, which I promise you guys I will tell you guys about one day. I promise I will tell you guys about one day. I'll go into it. There was a Latin King nexus. The case took it is the reason I have white hairs, bro. That case and my Border Patrol clone case, those 2 cases are a big reason why I have white hair, bro. Holy shit, man. I promise I'll tell you guys about it. It was called Operation, what the f*** do we call it? Pelea de Gallos. That's what we called it, Operation Pelea de Gallos. Because the main target used to fight roosters. All my Mexicans from South Texas know exactly what the f*** I'm talking about, bro. It was called Operation Pelea de Gallos, bro. I'm telling you, I was really out here, guys. I was really out here doing this. I know we got a couple Border Patrol agents and CBPOs that watch this. They'll tell you I'm not lying, bro. Hispanic drug traffickers, especially from South Texas, all the fight roosters, bro.
Bomba!
Yeah, it was Operation Pelea de Gallos, yeah. Operation Fighting Roosters. That's what it was called. It was a case I did with the DEA. I did it with DEA and ATF. FBI was involved too, but they did more of an assist role because we had overlap with Lion King targets. Because the organization I was targeting, my main target was cousins with some Lion King members that was a part of an FBI case, which was called Operation Checkmate out of San Antonio. And that the guy that ran that FBI case was the guy I told you guys about. That's a good friend of mine that I still talk to this day. You know what I mean? Good dude, really good dude. Very good agent, very smart guy. So, one of the FBI agents that like is a good guy. Most FBI agents are a pain in the ass. They don't do shit. But he was good, man. Used to share information. I'd go up to San Antonio all the time. The field office up there. Me with him, we debrief, talk to our informants, all that other shit. So I had a whole Lion King side of my case too as well, which I promise you guys one day I'll tell you guys about this. I just want enough time to elapse where I can like talk about it openly, where I don't have to like be a loser and be like, oh, I can't talk about that. It's classified. Like I'm waiting until like enough time has elapsed where I can tell you guys about these cases. But I haven't told you guys about a lot of that I did, bro. And then the one I did in Miami, I did a really big case in Miami as well. I'll tell you guys this. I'll say it was a cool case. I had one of my colleagues pose as a dirty agent, bro. Never been done before. I had one of my buddies pose as a dirty HSI agent, and we did some crazy work, bro. We had internal affairs involved and everything. It was awesome. It was awesome, dude. So we did like 4D chess. Not kidding. I'm not kidding around, bro. One day, I promise you guys, I'll tell you guys about it. But yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. It was a part of the Sri Lankan case. Yeah, it was a part of the Sri Lankan case. No, I didn't do the UC. I was the case agent, but my co-case agent was the UC. So basically, I'm not going to talk about like what he did. I'm just going to talk about like what the UC thing was. He was posing as a dirty federal agent. Okay. He was posing as a dirty federal agent. And since he was posing as a dirty federal agent, right, this was obviously all on roll. Just to be clean, right, we brought in Office of Professional Responsibility, right? So everything was above board and everything. So our internal affairs was involved in our criminal investigation. Because we had a HSI agent posing as a dirty HSI agent, OPR was involved as well. Right, so everybody was on notice. We did everything, cross our T's, dot our I's, for obvious reasons. We also notified the FBI, all that. You know what I mean? So they didn't think like they had a real dirty agent. But we had a guy posing as a dirty agent, and it ended up great, dude. It was awesome. It was genius that we came up with that. But yeah, it worked. They thought they were gonna get like records checks done and pass through and all this other stuff. It was awesome, dude. Because the bad guys really thought that they had a dirty agent on the take. They were sending us money, all that shit. And all that is evidence, bro. All that is evidence. And then when we did a takedown when they came to meet. They came to meet the dirty agent, right? And we did a huge takedown. It was hilarious. But I promise I'll share that story with y'all in full. It was a very good case, bro. It was a very, very good case. And I'm just getting like lots of nostalgia right now talking about it. But anyway, this all started, right? Somebody said, bro, was really a Fed. Yeah, bro, I was out here. Like, I was out here, man. That's some 200 IQ. Yeah, it worked out great. The bad guys really thought that we were crooked. We collected money from those, then we arrested them. And it's funny because they tried to double cross us. They called internal affairs. So they were double dipping. They were using us, right? They were using us to like do checks like that. And they were paying us, but they also called internal affairs. But what they didn't realize was we already had internal affairs on the case. Because we knew that might happen. So we're like, yo, let's get them on board. Let's get them on the case. Let's read them in. Right? Let's read them in. So they know what the is going on. And we work with them. We work with them hand in hand. So it was a fantastic case, bro. Really smart. 4D chess, man. Do I miss working as a Fed? All the time, bro. All the time. Being around a bunch of streamers gets annoying after a while, bro. These dudes are stupid and low IQ and like they don't have like real life experience a lot of times. It's really annoying. Anyway, let me read some of these chats. Sorry, guys. I've been yapping for a minute here.